FayWhat joining us, and Chef Josie joining us.
You know it.
And Tony Lima from Ariana Center, and John Buckley from Unity Coalition. Misty Eyez from Sunserve. This is kind of like a who's who evening here at It's Happening Out.
And it's Cinco de Mayo.
Tequila!
Tacos! I'm constantly eating tacos.
Yeah, big Cinco de Mayo. Ew, I just got that joke. Ew. I was going to make a tequila joke with you, but yours was better.
Tequila goes great on tacos.
Yeah. Ew.
Tequila goes great on nipples.
Well, good evening, America, and welcome to It's Happening Out, the world's most popular live gay television talk show. It's 9 p.m. Wednesday, May 5th, 2021, and I'm your anchor, Al Ferguson. Let's start tonight by meeting tonight's host. First up, this is FayWhat. She is a radio personality and has a popular blog and YouTube channel aiming to unite the L and G together. She's a hostess and an MC for many South Florida events. She's an anchor of the new travel news show, Happening Out.Travel. Welcome, Faye.
Hi, I'm so happy to be around this table with you guys.
It's going to be fun tonight. This is, next up, longtime host, Chef Josie. She is a Bravo TV top chef and the master of the popular Champagne and Oyster Celebration restaurant, Bubbles and Pearls, right here in the heart of famous Wilton Drive. She is also known as her alter evil dark ego, we're not quite sure yet, DJ Lady Snack Daddy, performing every Sunday and Monday night at Cubs and Hunters. Fun new gig. Welcome, Chef Josie.
Hey guys, what's going on? Whoop, whoop.
And next up is Tony Lima. He is the Chief Operating Officer of Ariana Center, Trans-Latina Florida, one of the nation's most important trans rights and services organizations in America. He is a longtime South Florida LGBTQ activist and political advocate. Tony is the anchor of the world's first weekly live trans talk show coming with trans hosts. The show is called Translation. Welcome, Tony.
So excited to be here tonight with this who's who of the LGBT community. Can you see who's around this table?
Yeah, why
Pretty
am I
amazing.
sitting here then?
I know, I was just going to say that,
I
except
don't know how I got this gig.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Right. All right. Next up is John Buckley. He is the Vice President and Program Director of the nonprofit organization Unity Coalition and creator of Kioba. And I have it in my teleprompter spelled properly so I can pronounce it correctly. I thought I'd get the joke in first. A free traveling social event that features speakers and topics and safe spaces for all same-gender loving men of color. Plus, he is known as Buck Lords from the famous House of Lords. I was watching Pose today. Welcome, John.
Thank you, Al. I'm very happy to be here. This is my first time, so you guys will pop my cherry.
We'll do more than that.
We are going to brutalize the virgin. Brutalize.
If the pre-show wasn't a taste.
Thanks for reminding. Let's release the Kraken. All right.
I'm between you.
Next up is Misty Eyez. She is, of course, you know her, the Director of Transgender Services, Women's Services, and the Training and Educator for Sunserve, one of South Florida's most respected LGBTQ nonprofits serving our community. She is a highly celebrated and award-winning entertainer, MC, journalist, drag queen, makeup artist. Good Lord, what a resume you have. Welcome, Misty.
Also, translation.
I was going to say.
Right.
By the way,
Misty's like our star on translation. Come on.
We're recording our pilot very soon, Al. You should be aware of this.
Yes, I should.
That's why he can't be at the table.
Wait,
wow.
can you hear the shade?
Yeah. Loud and clear.
Going to go on all night, right? All right, so good evening, America. We are the first and most popular live LGBTQ talk show in the world. We have so much to talk about tonight. Next on It's Happening Out.
This week on It's Happening Out. Join us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. It all starts right now, live on It's Happening Out.
Well, good evening. It's Happening Out is supported by viewers like you. Well, it sounds like we're PBS. We are part of the Happening Out television network, Hotspots Magazine, and WMEG, WeMeg Events. Hotspots is celebrating 35 years of the LGBTQ experience, and WeMeg is bringing you Wilton Manor's Stonewall Pride Parade and Festival on June 19th. Merged, we bring you the best of LGBTQ news, entertainment, and the support of our LGBTQ community. Well, as we told you, you're watching a live and unedited LGBTQ talk show, so anything can happen, and you're going to see it. I'll probably get slayed here this evening. If you are on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and click the bell for updates. If you're on Facebook, like and share our show and video. Well, let's begin with the unique meme of the week. And what's going on this week? What we're getting ready to celebrate? Well, I'll give you a little clue. It's a Mexican national holiday. So let's see our meme of the week. It's called, as we look at our meme,
Happy Cinco de Gallo.
Huh?
Happy
Gallo.
Cinco de Gallo.
Oh,
There you
sorry.
go.
I put SAP on again. I thought it said Gallo. I was like,
Gallo.
oh,
I
Happy
read
Cinco
Gallo
de-
too.
Gay.
And Gallo's
Gay.
cock.
Yeah,
Gay.
that's why I was excited.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
So extra happy Cinco
Extra
de
happy.
Gallo. I like it.
Mira, Cinco de Gallo.
And before we Gallo, yeah.
Is that meat in that taco?
Oh,
You-
please.
she had right
Taco
tacos.
jokes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on out of our meme of the week, and I'm giving production a heads up. My monitor is showing frozen. It probably is just me, but I'm just bringing it to your attention. All right, let's move on. Who needs a drink? Let's play our yes or no game called I'd Swallow That. We invite you at home to play right along with us. I'm going to ask these hosts 4 questions. If they agree with the statement, they take the. If they agree with the statement or question, they take the shot. If they disagree, well, it's going to be a very long night for me. Everybody ready?
Yes.
Rubbing alcohol.
Then
It's working.
Let's play I'd Swallow That. All right, here we go. Question number 1. I'd swallow that. I'm so there. Liza says, start spreading the news. Guess what? Broadway is set to reopen.
Woo!
Cheers to that.
Right.
Yes, yes, and we all need to support every single musical out there. If you're going to New York, make sure you go to a ton of Broadway shows because a lot are not coming back.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice is not coming back. Frozen is not coming back. Hangman, Mean Girls, that I was
Oh,
awesome, is not
wanted to
coming
see
back.
that show,
But
yeah.
a lot of great shows are, so go support them. Chicago, the Radio City Music Hall, Rockettes is coming back. Diana, Hamilton, Lion King.
The
Moulin
Lion King was
Rouge.
So good.
Hamilton.
Yes.
I saw
Oh.
Lion King.
And a
And
lot
see,
more.
I didn't hear a single word you said because I'm trying to put the lighter fluid out.
Yeah.
I
I know.
I
That's
just
why mine-
swallowed.
We just had a moment. Josie and I were like, what was
squeezing
that?
Tony's leg under the table, okay?
Wow. Anybody going to get on a plane and go to New York? And if so, when?
Hey, listen, I would
I'm-
love to
I'm
go
up
to
to
New
it.
York like tomorrow.
I will go.
I will go.
If you're paying
When you
out,
buy
I'm
those
going.
tickets.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a field trip.
I just went
Okay.
to LA.
I'm in.
Wait, how did
Yeah.
this turn
I
on?
ain't
this
done.
way?
Go to New York.
Happening Out family reunion in New York.
In New York.
Let's quickly move to question number 2. I'd swallow that. I locked up when I heard that Ryan Reynolds said very much wants Deadpool to be bi in Deadpool 3.
What's locked up mean?
Like good.
Locked up Lee means you puckered.
He said he
like-
wanted.
We puckered.
Not that kind of pucker.
I don't.
I'm puckering right now.
Kegels.
If I'm happy about it, I'm happy about it.
Not that kind of puckered.
As long I'm happy about the whole buy thing.
Okay, so
A
then you're
cheers.
drinking. So
Not
drink.
that
Oh,
kind
drink.
of puckered.
Hold on, which finger is that?
I'm
This
still
one?
clenching. I'm still clenching because I'm all locked up, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Misty. Didn't
Yeah.
tell you.
I feel like we're going to be really drunk after
Just
this
really doing
session.
Kegels.
I'm doing my Kegels right now.
John,
Ryan
welcome to the
Reynolds
table, okay?
has
It's
come
gonna
out
get
and
loose.
said and
What a great
had
introduction.
conversation
Ah.
with
Yeah.
the president of Marvel Entertainment that he is completely fine that Deadpool plays bisexual.
I want to see him do some man-on-man sex scenes.
Yes.
But he never comes out of his little uniform, his outfit.
Well,
He can stay in the
Leave
outfit.
the mask on.
I'm fine
he
with
could
that.
leave the
The
mask
uniform
on, or he
is
could
nice.
take it
I'll
off.
take
And
that.
in all
I mean, you
of
could
the
just put a zipper on his butt. I get it. I know.
Why just in his
Why
butt?
is zipper in his butt?
Yeah,
Can't forget
Josie.
the front.
Because he's taking off his mask, so
He can
that'll
be versatile. He can
available.
be versatile.
Here's the thing, even with what Deadpool represents, because it's Ryan Reynolds, is that just so sexy enough? It
Oh
just
my
would
God,
not-
yes.
would not
He's
stop.
very sexy.
Yes.
Oh.
Very sexy.
Yeah, and originally he was pansexual.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Deadpool
In the
is
books.
pansexual in the books, in the comic book. So why not make him that, in the movies? And I love that Ryan Reynolds is like, yeah, do it. Let's do it. I'm down to kiss
And the
a
fact that
guy.
he's willing to do it is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, completely awesome. Ryan Reynolds goes,
And, yeah.
I've kissed
Yeah,
girls
of
before.
course.
right.
I'm not a lesbian, but I'll do it.
All right,
I've
let's-
kissed guys before, and
Yeah.
I'm not straight.
Yeah,
I've kissed girls before and I'm gay.
Yeah.
exactly. All right, let's
Go
move
Ryan.
on. Yeah, go Ryan. All right, question 3. I'd swallow that.
I can't get these up.
You know, I'm sorry, what?
I was still locked up.
She's
locked up.
And
I
now
don't know
you're
what that's
spilling.
I'm
too.
wet.
Wow, moist. All right, question 3. I'd swallow that. I've got 1,000 of these. I'd swallow that. You know Pride Month is here when Disney releases the 2021 Pride Collection.
Yeah.
They announced it today. All of the new merch for Pride Month.
Oh, that's
Cheers for that.
cute.
I'll
drink. Cute.
Cheers.
Yeah.
I remember a million years ago going to Orlando during gay days, and like all you wore was a red shirt, and that's how you knew that
Yeah,
you guys
the
were
others
all
were
part
gay.
of the same community. Sorry, guys. Sorry, and you guys are dying all over.
We're being exfoliated from the inside.
That's how it works.
What is
Get
this
fired
stuff?
later on.
Really?
Gasoline.
No, but you know what
Oh,
was
it's-
I have
interesting
goose
about
pimples
that
now.
time? It's like you would go there and it would be all the gay people in red shirts, and then it would be all the regular families, and I'd
Yeah.
be
They're
like,
like, what's going on?
I thought we had this all to ourselves.
Very funny story. I was in, I participated in gay days in various different ways for years. The very interesting early gay day stories is that Disney would not succumb to all of the boycott protests of having gay days on the first Saturday in June. And they would have a battery, an army, we used to call it, of people at the entrance. And families and haters and whoever would come in and say, oh, all of these gay people, no, I don't want to be here. And they would go, "Boop, we're giving you free tickets instantaneously.
To another park.
Yeah, or in the future, or whatever that they wanted to do, because they didn't want to disrupt the guests, but they also were not going to disrupt the fact that we were celebrating that LGBT was coming to the park.
That's fantastic.
Right
And the
from the
fact
very
that
beginning.
that now we have all of this merch to purchase and to represent with.
Well, the merch is new.
It is. It's
No,
great.
it's cool.
But it's
They
been
even
a
have
couple years,
chancletas.
right?
As a Latino
They
that
do.
was hit by chancletas
Yeah,
by my mom.
me too.
I would like for it to be a gay chancleta.
Hello.
At least, you know
So
what I mean? Like,
I'll tell you something. All of this merch goes on sale in a few months, and everything is like 50% off. And I went crazy
nice.
at
You have
what's
all
it
the
called,
gay
Disney
things?
Springs. Yes, and I realized that they had chancletas, so I bought chancletas. I
Sandals,
bought
everybody,
underwear.
sandals for people
I
that
think
don't
in
know.
South Florida they know
What
what
do you mean?
chancletas
Yeah,
are,
but
right?
we have
50%?
international viewers.
What?
There you go.
Any merchandise
Sandals.
that they have left, they go to Disney Springs, their primary
Yeah.
shopping entertainment complex, and you can buy stuff there too. You want a heads up of what I think is the coolest item this year?
Yeah.
What?
no.
You can buy a T-shirt that has the heart and "Love Will Win" in Mickey's hand.
Oh, I saw that one. It's a red sheet.
Awesome!
I saw that.
Absolutely,
I'm getting
I
it.
was like, whoop.
So next time you see that, get it in size way too big for me.
I was
Buy
gonna
it
say,
online?
You can buy it online.
Is this another field trip potentially?
Oh,
I mean, I have to go because
Super down.
I've never been to gay days.
Never?
I've never been to gay
Oh,
days.
girl.
Well,
What
and
kind
you
of
can
gay
do
are
this
you,
without
Buckley?
it. But this
And
field trip
you're
idea, as
young,
much as I
but it's
embrace it.
good.
Question number 4.
We have to
Shade.
Before I ask you question number 4, I want to show you this.
Oh, we're gonna watch.
This.
Watch
this.
I got my COVID vaccine, and I want you to get it too. Because we've already lost too many of our black and brown people. Too many who can't be there for weddings, quinceañeras. And these vaccines are nearly 100% effective. And yes, it's hard to trust something that seemed to be developed so fast, but know this. They cut red tape, not science. So get the vaccine. Be there for your life. This is your shot.
Love Wilson Cruz.
Yeah.
This is
Is that what
your
we're drinking?
shot.
I'm gonna be
And,
drunk, I think.
Our
I'm already
question
drunk.
number
Well,
4.
look at that picture.
If he's urging me to get it, I'll definitely drink for that.
Question number 4 of I'd Swallow That. Wilson Cruz will help overcome vaccine hesitancy with this new campaign.
Will he be giving full body massages after we
Right.
receive the vaccine?
And by the way, I just always provide context. We have reported on COVID-19 on every episode of Queer News Tonight since January 20th. We reported on the first night. of
January
this-
6th, 2020.
January 6th, thank you. Thank you for that. On January 6th, about this strange virus that was being reported by the World Health Organization in China. Josie got it, I got it, Ron Brunensky, host got it and ultimately died of it. And it's a reminder of how important this PSA is because an estimated 41,000 LGBTQ Americans have died of coronavirus. So that PSA is more important than ever.
Well, and you heard Buck. Buck said it so perfectly. He said just watching him would make me go get it if I wasn't already vaccinated, you know? And he's targeting the black and brown generation right
Representation.
there. The representation. So, you know, I mean, I think it's so important to use celebrity and use your celebrity status in that way. Yeah. And I before said that that Wilson was that he got old. But no, looking at these pictures, he looks amazing.
Baby.
I
Look at
retract
that.
everything
Look at
I
that.
said before.
If that's
He
old,
looks
put me in.
amazing.
Yeah, you're
That
like,
is not my
I'm ready.
so-called life body at all.
That's
put
gold.
me in, coach.
Wait.
When I get that age,
John,
that's
did you
goals.
just say put me in?
I did.
Is that what you said?
Put you in what?
If that's old, put me in. I'm ready.
That's it,
I'm
that's
gonna
it.
contemplate.
I just wanted
But
him
you
to sing
know,
Rent.
there's also
That's all I was
something-
waiting for.
There's also
Rent,
something that's
right?
really important about that PSA.
325,000
Because the reality, the
100
fact
minutes.
is that the POC community
Yes.
is
Right.
very reluctant to get the vaccine.
Right.
And
But
for
Black
many-
Indigenous people of color are the first to die
They
at
are.
higher rates.
and
They need it most.
And it's really important to still take into consideration because I have many friends
Yeah.
who are POC, and they are scared
Yeah.
of this. So it's going to take more than just Wilson Cruz.
Right.
Of course.
Of
Okay,
course.
but it's going to take a lot of leaders
I
who are
completely
POC.
agree with you, and I want to draw one other thing that I think is important from Queer News Tonight. In addition to reporting on corona virus, the statistics, we're now every week reporting the CDC results of fully vaccinated America. The statistics are stunning, and to your point, here's the proof of the nail to put in on why you should get a vaccine. As of Monday, 2 days ago, more than 100 million Americans had been fully vaccinated, and of the 100 million, it's called a breakthrough infection, getting COVID-19 after being fully vaccinated. Out of 100 million Americans, only 7,000 people have gotten coronavirus. Only approximately 1,000 have had serious, a little under that actually, under 1,000, have had serious consequences to be hospitalized, and only approximately 100 people have died of coronavirus that are fully vaccinated out of 100 million.
Wow, that's
the
impressive.
science is absolute. The vaccine is a miracle.
It works.
It's a miracle.
Get vaccinated,
For sure.
people.
Get vaccinated.
And if not for yourself, do it for your loved
Yes,
ones
and your family.
those that you
and
care
our LGBTQ community, which is why Wilson Cruz is so important. Well, let's move on out of I'd Swallow That. At It's Happening Out, we like to bring attention to the LGBTQ community to the best thing of the week.
That vodka's kicking. Was it vodka?
Tequila.
Tequila.
Was it
Lighter
Gallo.
fluid.
This is
is
so
what it
demandable.
is. All right, lighter fluid. All right, best thing of the week. It has to do with pool parties. The beach.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coming out of pandemic.
Summer's coming.
Yes.
Fold
Summer
in this
lovin'.
little name called Andrew Christian.
Oh,
Hey.
And
underwear.
even Nasty Pig.
Oh.
Oh,
So-
fun.
Hey,
Why do I know
was
both of
talking.
them?
And so much more. So the best thing of the week is called Summer is Here for LGBTQ America.
Yes,
yeah.
Because gay swimsuit brands tell me so and are rolling them out
What?
now. And we're showing you
Okay.
some of the
Yay.
pictures
The
of
pigs.
10, the pigs of 10
Those are
LGBTQ
cute.
brands
Shorts.
in what they're debuting for
It helps
summer
that the models are lovely.
2021.
But where are the hairy guys?
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Tony, what do you like? You like the bikini or the little shorts?
I like the little shorts. I'm not a bikini guy myself.
Oh, I
and
like
I feel like
those.
I need hair. Like, where's all the,
The
why are they all
American gay pride.
shaven?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cute, right?
Oh, y'all are haters.
I like
God,
this.
got
I
a
see you
nice-
on that right there.
Look at Al's face.
I saw you in that.
Any
Whoa.
tops in the house?
Any tops in the house.
Wow.
Puerco, sucio.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I love how it's the lesbians that are all like hot and bothered.
I'm not a lesbian.
Now I know you're
Wait,
not my love,
the
but
white
the others
privileged
are.
end of the table is also oogling the picture.
Look
There
there.
Thank you.
Pati, Tony, pati.
Thank you.
More hair.
By the way, I believe that was nasty pig. All right,
Of course
that's
it
best
was.
thing of the week.
Look,
Oh.
look at that.
Yes, yes,
bear.
and more.
At some
Yeah.
point, I've got to take control back of the show.
Now I broke a
putting those
sweat.
pictures
I
in.
actually broke a sweat.
Later.
All right.
I think I have some options
Next,
for
let's
summer.
move on to our segment called What's on Your Mind. And each week, we ask our hosts to tell us what is on their mind. We ask them to tell us in just 30 seconds. But what is important to you this week? But remember, I remind you, it's got to be in 30 seconds or you're going to hear this. It's called the Fay Bell. All right?
Hey, Bell. It's called the Fable.
Right, not a sleigh bell, the Fay Bell. All right? And
my
speaking of
God.
that,
Fay bell
we'll honor you.
ring.
Let's begin. What's on your mind? FayWhat?
FayWhat? So you guys all know that I'm an animal lover and an animal advocate. If you love your animal, get it chipped. It costs $22 at the Humane
Yes,
Society, okay? For upkeep, it'll cost you a couple bucks a month. It's not a big deal. We pay more for Netflix and all that porn stuff that all you guys are on. I'm looking at you, Buck, right?
guys.
So if you have a pet and you love it, dog, cat, whatever it is, make sure that it's got a chip in it. If it's ever lost, it will come back to you. I'm
Yes.
constantly rescuing dogs that have homes, and some I
Yeah.
can't find the homes because they have no chips. Take care of your animals out there, okay?
Excellent
Love that.
thought.
Love
and
that.
Chef Josie, what's on your mind this week?
Oh man, listen, guys, I have to tell you something. In this world, you're going to be disappointed by people who come in and out of your lives.
Truth.
But you have to make sure that you always stay true and remember who you are through the process. When you come from love, you are love.
Yes.
And that's all there is to say about it.
Excellent.
I love
Wow.
that.
And it was on
Love
time.
it.
Inspirational.
I
Well
have loved
said.
And
that,
Tony
Josie.
Lima, tell us what's on your mind this week.
So, as the consummate activist, Al, I'm thinking about the potential passing of this anti-trans sports ban in Tallahassee, here in our home state. It is especially terrifying, and we've reported this on Queer News Tonight, and we'll probably talk about it tonight at some point, but the biggest issue is that it's the first hate bill against our community that passes in 23 years, which means that there's more to come, and we need to be ready for it. We need to be educated, we need to be ready to take action and move forward from this hate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's get it.
that's a sad statistic. First time in 23 years.
Let's get it.
And John Buckley, what's on your mind this week?
I'm super excited because Caoba was awarded a grant through Vive Healthcare.
Fantastic.
And we have money to actually do programming for the next 3 years. One of the first initiatives that I'm doing, that we're doing collectively, we're going to be filming a docu-series on same-gender loving men of color, just being your authentic self, sharing your story. And we're going to do it at the historic Hampton House.
Oh,
Wow.
very nice.
Overtown, right?
So that is right here in Miami in Overtown, and I'm super excited.
That is
Congrats.
awesome. Is it possible for some of the grant money to be used for a field trip to Walt Disney World?
He's thinking about the future.
Next
Yeah,
month.
I'm thinking. You're
Research and
Research and
development.
development. B is hearing. Wait, what? Right.
Al is not a black indigenous person of color, but he will gladly
All
go
right,
with
I'll
your group.
chaperone.
You're
I'll
chaperone.
Right. All right. And Misty Eyez, what's on your mind this week?
You know, I'm going to be very personal. I have been an advocate in my community for people for a very long time, and I have known probably in my personal life 5 trans women that have had a degree. And that is an alarming statistic. Many trans people are kicked out of school or bullied and quit school and dropped out. And if you went to college, you got kicked out or got bullied and quit school. I started school in 1994, and I am graduating in August. And what's on my mind now is, now that I'm getting my degree, do I go and get my MBA? And
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
thinking maybe
Yes.
if I can get financial aid and or money, The answer is yes. I've already applied at 3 schools, and I have 2 conditional acceptances already.
Excellent. You know the old saying, once the train gets moving at full speed, it is so hard to restart it. So
you have to start by believing in yourself, and that's the part that was lacking.
Excellent. Well, that's lovely. Congratulations to you. That's wonderful news. All right. Well, that's what's on everyone's mind this week. Next, let's catch up with the news of Hollywood and the world of entertainment. And Misty was just talking about trans issues, and that's what our hot topic, Celebrity Hot Topic, is about. We call it our Celebrity Hot Topic of the Week. The most visible trans person in the world is Caitlyn Jenner. And she says girls should not be able to play girls' sports. And I think we have a little clip of that. Let's watch this.
Oh, Jesus.
Lord.
Hi, Caitlyn. So there's legislation in various states to ban biological boys who are trans from playing girls' sports in school. What's your opinion on that?
This is a question of fairness. That's why I oppose biological boys who are trans competing in girls' sports in school. It just isn't fair. And we have to protect girls' sports in our school.
But if someone transitions and now identifies as a girl, isn't it delegitimizing their identity to prevent
Have a good day.
Okay. Thank you, TMZ. Seriously, thank you.
Wow.
What do y'all think?
What was in
Well, there goes her bid for governor of California.
Even if she had it.
Yeah.
What the actual fuck? I'm sorry.
Right.
What the actual fuck? She even called trans children genetic boys. She, as a trans woman, has competed in female sports as an adult, but still. And when you are a child and taking testosterone blockers, you are much weaker than your competitors. So it is not an unfair advantage. What the actual fuck? Now, she as a trans woman should be an ally for our community. One would hope. I know she's Republican, fine, whatever. But is she trying to pander for the Republican vote by posing her own people?
Yeah,
Basically, that's what she's trying to do.
Yes.
And that is repulsive to me.
Yeah.
She's towing the line. I think that's what makes this very dangerous, because she is a trans woman and has tried to represent the trans community and the trans strife and fight. And what she's doing is just towing a party line. It's a known fact that there was a conservative convention here in Florida, and the agenda items of what all the states should be carrying from a conservative perspective were said, and the anti-trans sports ban was one of those objectives. So she's just towing the line politically. So shame on you, Caitlyn Jenner, for not being able to represent your community well and not being protective of our children.
Yeah.
Literally.
On you.
And now she wants them to investigate and inspect these children's genitals to prove that they are cisgender.
You know, take it
Oh my God, this is making me
10,000
so
feet.
mad.
I know. And,
Like,
and I even...
crazy.
I'm
when I
not sure
first-
you're a girl. Can I see your vagina real quick?
Right.
Right.
Right. You know.
Fuck you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Like-
whatever. That's the thing that's really upsetting me. And people ask me all the time. They're like, Josie, you'd be such a great parent. I go, are you crazy? Okay, I would be a great parent, but I'm not going to grow up in a world where I'm going to have to be a space where I'm going to have to explain to them that the administration, the people who you think are leaders of this community, of this country, are telling you who you get to be, who you have to be. And that is just, listen, that wasn't happening in our generation. And if it was, like, it was very, like, underground, you know?
Right.
And there were things, of course, that were being pushed agenda-wise against our you know, our LGBTQ community. But really, I don't know about you. I know who we're sitting at the table with in regards to generational here, and I felt very free growing up. And now it seems like we're going back into some warp speed time zone, and this is just absurd. And it's disrespectful. It's completely.
It's also hypocritical.
It's
And
hypocritical.
And I wanted to ask you all about that. Misty alludes to it. There's all kinds of documentation. There's pictures. Caitlyn Jenner has competed in women's golf tournaments. She has competed on the golf course and used the women's tee-off location. This is a person that was the decathlon winner of the Olympics in Montreal, considered the best athlete in the world, competing against women and using the women's tees and didn't seem to have any problem with it. And now this issue comes up, which is politics. The hypocrisy of that statement, I can't even understand where it's coming from. Where do y'all think this is coming
That she's hoping to run for further office and she's starting her political posturing now.
Well,
that's what's
classic.
happening.
We'll sell our souls no matter what.
Yes,
No matter what.
absolutely.
She's a Republican through and through
Right.
at the end of the day.
Right, and what's happening in the state of Florida, right? Look what's happening right now in the state of Florida. We have a governor that's about to sign a bill that will basically endanger and criminalize our children in one way, shape, or form, right? And we have the opportunity to stop that with elections, right? We can't continue electing people that don't care about everyone, right? They care about certain people, not about everyone. So we have to remember this. We can't elect Caitlyn Jenner to anything. I don't care that she's a trans woman.
I don't either.
She
I
can't be
agree with you,
elected.
Tony.
And we have to continue to be vigilant about these kind of things because it's only going to get worse. In the wake of this election in November, that a positive election for all of us, it's going to get worse in this respect.
You know, and one final thought before we move on. I'm a little disappointed this week that there has not been universal conversation of how important this story is in the LGBTQ community.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna
That is a
share it
little,
far wide.
it is a little disappointing to me of how the gravity of this story of what we're watching here, because Caitlyn Jenner is just the spear of the javelin that is being thrown by the radical Republicans, and we should all be aware of it. And I would just do a quick commercial for Tony's benefit and for Misty's benefit. Translation is going to be needed more now than ever before in our community. These haters are not going away, so don't ignore them.
Right.
That's our celebrity conversation for this week. And now let's report on Happening Out Television Network and how we tried our best to support the LGBTQ community. An example is here at the Sunshine Cathedral. This is the world's largest queer church here in Fort Lauderdale. We are broadcasting from our permanent set in supporting that partnership, and the network broadcasts the largest LGBTQ religious broadcast in the world, with more than 30,000 watching every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and it's totally live. We encourage you to tune in. Our campaign of sponsorship support proudly supports Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church. Watch this.
I'm Rihanna Petrone, Dancing Diva of the Palm Beaches and South Florida Gay News Best Drag Queen for Palm Beach County, and Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church.
Well, we'd also like to thank our set designer, Concepto Modern Living, here in Fort Lauderdale, for making this set in this amazing queer church campus possible. Finally, we'd like to thank Happening Out's hotel sponsor, Best Western I-95 here in Fort Lauderdale. This is the closest and best choice to the famous Wilton Drive, and our host and guests stay at this LGBTQ ally partner. We encourage you to stay here when visiting South Florida. Up next, well, big moment in our show. If we were all standing around the proverbial LGBTQ water cooler, this is what we think we would all be talking about this week. We refer to it as the hot topic of the week. Hot topic of the week. The Washington Post reported this week that a large Gallup poll shows discrepancies of how many LGBTQ Americans exist in the United States. Most surveys suggest our number is 6 to 7%. We use the standard acceptance of 7% at Queer News Tonight. But this large new poll shows a much greater disparity based on age. In fact, Gen Zers in the largest poll ever done shows that 18 to 23-year-olds showed 16.7% identified as L, G, B, or T.
Wow.
Pollsters suggested it was an honesty problem in the polling.
No, I don't think
Now, why honesty? They suggest, here's an interesting observation, the pollsters suggest discrimination pressure and the coming out experience by society has artificially held reporting down. Hold on, let me finish. The older you are, the harder it is to represent saying you're LGBT. So the hot topic of the week is Gen Z adults prove the percentage of the LGBTQ population is growing in America. What do y'all think?
I don't think it's growing. What I think is happening is people are not as afraid and people are not as in the closet. So for example, let's pick something very neutral like left-handedness. When people thought you were going to hell or you were demon-possessed because you were left-handed and the teachers would smack your hand and say, use your right scissors, there were 2% of Americans that were out as left-handed people. But as soon as it became left-handed scissors and left-handed desk, 12% of the American population was suddenly left-handed. Do you think that magically these 12% people were miraculously created? No, they were no longer hiding. And now that we have a very open LGBT, President Biden, for example, is speaking about things that are no longer like trans people don't exist, we're going to kill them, we're going to whatever. These kids are no longer scared.
Yeah.
They're not. 18 to 23-year-olds. Have you been around them? And my stepdaughter is that age.
I can barely stand them.
And close your ears, Allison. I can hardly stand you too. And the reality is that, like, for example, like when me and Teresa came to her and said, "Hey, you're gonna have 2 moms now," she was like, "Cool." Like it was like not even a thing.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
where
true.
I had a whole speech prepared. I was all ready with a dissertation, a PowerPoint and shit, and nothing was needed. And her friends are just like that, where they're very fluid with their sexuality. They're not afraid, like you said, Misty. That's how that fear's gone. Of course,
well, we were all afraid. We're all the same generation for the most part. But I agree with Faye. Like my 20-year-old nephew was always so excited to be in pride parades with me because he could tell his trans and gay friends and lesbian friends at school that he marched in a pride parade with his tío. Right, so it's a thing. Like these kids, that means uncle. Yes, we are in South Florida, right? Like,
but we
chancletas and tío. You should know these words.
By the way, I did not.
The white man speaks, and we're not surprised.
Like in high school, I didn't have a trans person in high school.
Right.
You know, go to school with me. I had gay and lesbian, but I didn't have that. Like now, that's normal for these kids. It really is.
It is, and it's not a problem.
No.
Sorry, John, you were saying.
No. I grew up, like growing up, I had a trans family member. And I remember going with trips to Honduras, and my parents would always be like, "Oh no, you stay away from them, don't go around them." And I was always welcoming, loving, and I never cared. So now to see, like, kids taking a stand and being able to express who they are, it's amazing.
Are you telling us you're much younger than you actually are? Are you like being like a Gen Zer right now?
I don't think so.
The
that.
interesting thing in this gigantic poll, and it was a very large number of people that participated in the poll, the lowest number identifying an LGBT were baby boomers.
No.
So my age group was the smallest.
You guys are back in the closet.
Your age group was the smallest. Sorry.
Wait, are you a gay man?
Yes,
I am.
he is.
It's interesting because the play on words in terms of this headline is that the population is growing because it has been historically underreported. So therefore it is growing because of that. My age group shows that population is much smaller. And when you get to Gen Z, the population number is increasing by 120%. That's statistically impossible. Your left hand is an example. But consider the impacts of this. If this is true and people are less fearful in terms of reporting what their true nature is, this has gigantic effects on, first, politics.
Yes.
Because it becomes a more powerful base in terms of those that run for office, etc., create bills, administer policy, must follow. It's why the census is so important, and the census identify and ask the question if you're LGBT. And it also has dramatic effect on money because of where businesses spend their money, because they want to spend their money in the LGBTQ community, and if our numbers are greater, they're going to spend more money. This is a gigantic story for us over the next 5 years.
An interesting thought about your age demographic being a small population of out LGBTQ people living in the closet for most of their lives. That is why in Florida, for those of you who don't know, we have a community called the Villages, which is a 5 zip code neighborhood of senior living facility, not facility, but neighborhoods. The highest rate of STD infection in South Florida, or in Florida. And these adults, seniors, are jumping from bed to bed and experimenting. Like, oh, you have a hot tub? I'll come and play, whatever.
Yes.
And they're living and sowing these oaths that they've
And
never
good for them, by the way.
And good for them.
Yeah.
Because they've lived their entire life in fear for their kids or their family. And now their kids are grown and they don't care.
And
Well,
when
know what?
it's
Let's
funny,
try
when
it.
you say neighborhoods, Misty is talking about a community that has 100,000 residents in this community. Every Republican candidate for president over the last 2 decades has landed the plane in these neighborhoods. That's how powerful this community is. Very interesting. Any final thoughts? Is our population growing? Are we exciting? 16.7%.
We're
just
everywhere.
not, I
We're
just think that
everywhere like
people are
roaches.
the next generation is going to try it all.
Yeah.
And I remember being that kid, so I'm glad that I've set.
You still are that kid. You're still trying it all. What are you talking
You're a
about?
matriarch.
No, I'm just glad that that has evolved actually, and that these kids have confidence in like whatever. It doesn't mean you're anything. It doesn't define you. Try it. It doesn't define you. My dad says this. There's 2 ways to gain experience, the easy way and the hard way, okay? And the easy way is listening to this, group of people who may have done it before and have the experience and can share some of their experience with you, right? And then it's the hard way, and the hard way is always doing it yourself.
Yeah.
So go hard.
If I
Go hard or go home.
I like that. Go hard.
final thought before we move out of this, what you just said, and from my perspective, one of the things that I always try to propel is the conversation for the LGBTQ community. I think it's vitally important that we talk about things like this. What you just said, I'm telling you, I in my gut know that this is truth. What you just said scares the hell out of the radical Republicans, the radical evangelicals, Tucker Carlson and Laura Ingraham at Fox News.
Oh, yeah.
Because the more that happens, the less power, influence, and money they get. And as a result, if people are willing, young people are willing to experiment, and they go, oh, well, I've tried it, but no, I'm not that.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's genetic.
they become that of whatever they say they are, but they also don't become an adversary to hate you. And so as a result, they embrace the community. And that is how acceptance of LGBT has increased. And that's what explains the dramatic increase of LGBT acceptance in America over the last 20 years. Exactly what your father told you is true about LGBT.
Yay, daddy, snack daddy.
Exactly right. All right. Let's move out of our hot topic of the week. Fascinating. 16.7%. Amazing. Still lots of discussion around it, but amazing. All right, now let's have a lightning round. There were lots of silly and important headlines in the news this week. Let's discuss a few of them in our segment called Saved by the Bell. And I'm going to move my favorite right over here because, I'm going to do it for sure. But in Saved by the Bell, there is a twist. We are going to discuss each of these headlines, these topics, for just 1 minute. And at the end of that minute, you are going to have to stop and I'm going to ring that bell, and we've got to immediately move
You
on.
can ring
Everybody understand? I'm going to ring the favorite. So here we go. Our first Saved by the Bell. History was made this week when President Biden supported the Equality Act at the Joint Members of Congress address. But he went then where no privileged old white man ever went before. Saved by the Bell, headline number 1. Biden tells trans youth, quote, "Your president has your back," and said it live.
It's about damn time.
Oh my God, it was amazing. I texted
I know
Tony and
it
I'm like,
was-
I'm crying. Like, it was just so amazing. I mean, in our lifetime, have we seen something like that happen?
Never.
Never. Like, I felt like he was looking at us. Do you understand what I mean? Like, oh, tears.
And looking at those of us that are the most marginalized,
Yes.
which was such a powerful thing. And thinking about those kids, like the ones that are going to suffer through this anti-trans sports ban in so many states. So what a beautiful thing to happen from our leader. Our leader, like we've needed this for so long. It's about
free
time.
world
Yeah.
said that. Yeah.
No, and what courage does that reflect of our president, who everyone questions is like too old, doesn't have the energy, he doesn't care. He knows what he cares about, and I'm so happy I voted for him.
He directed that to those kids. He said, "You are enough." I mean, wow, like at that moment, every kid that was probably questioning or upset or was just like, wow, I'm listened to.
Yeah.
It was a great story, and I will remind you, I watched Tucker Carlson. I taped The Gang of Three, Tucker, Sean, and well, I like to hear their craziness.
He is
and
Republican,
Laura,
you know this, right?
And you know what they talked about? They talked about his joint session, how boring and slow and old he was. I'll take boring and slow and old every day.
Absolutely.
Let's move on. Are gay men fascinated by the color red? I don't really mean red. I'm not talking about strawberry blonde. Well, a casting call has come out this week. Saved by the Bell headline number 2. Red Hot, the famous publication, is looking for hunky super gingers as their cover boy for the 2022 calendar. What do y'all think about super gingers?
Listen, when I got the run of show, I was thinking about the story today, and I typed in Google "red hot guy" or something like that, and all this porn came up. All this porn came up. I was like, all right.
Gay men, after all. Come on.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I
So
think
let's look
gingers
for
are
this
sexy.
guy.
You do think they're sexy?
That's not my type, but in high school, every redhead that I ever met was super hot.
I've only been with one ginger in my entire life, and I didn't like it, and it's totally superficial because I just didn't like the hair.
They're sexy. I like
know,
Latinos.
Terrible.
I
To
can't
each
help
his
it.
own.
Terrible.
To each his own. I've never really been attracted to a redhead, but I mean,
Have you been with a redhead?
no.
No?
I haven't.
But that's why this sort of initiative is really important.
Yeah.
Look at what everyone has said around this table, right? It's about time that gingers get like their due.
And
Give
not
them
be
their
treated like a
space.
redheaded stepchild.
Exactly.
Ring the bell now. Ring the bell.
Right. Moving on. In
was great.
Southwest Ohio this week, 2 dating high school lesbians were nominated to the prom court. And
that's beautiful.
shockingly, history was made. Saved by the Bell, headline number 3. High school senior class surprises this lesbian couple by electing them both the prom king and prom queen. What did y'all think?
Were they surprised like
Very
neither of
cute.
them was running?
I don't know that.
That would be a beautiful surprise.
It seemed like they weren't running, and they were not the most popular girls in the school either. Like, how cool is that?
What a
you know?
beautiful
Like,
thing.
as a lesbian girl, like I remember in high school wanting to be able to like go with a girl to prom, you know, and and the second that thought came into my mind, immediately going, that'll never happen.
Interesting.
And that was it.
One of the quotes of the girl, the lesbian girl that was king, said it was very difficult because in all of Southwest Ohio, she could not find a tuxedo that fitted a woman. Isn't that cute? It's so cute.
So just get a jacket that's different than the pants.
Yeah, and can I also remind you, a decade ago, this storyline in Southwest Ohio took place, and it was on Glee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
true.
he
I
was
thinking
totally
about that.
rejected and humiliated for being the outed.
They have a movie on that.
Yeah,
Prom,
I think
yeah.
I saw that
I've seen
movie.
it.
Was it like Merle?
Meryl Streep.
Somebody was in it. Gordon Ramsay was in it.
What?
Yeah. He was like
No,
a
not
very-
Gordon.
Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon, the TV show person.
Oh, thank God for this bell.
Oh, my
All right,
goodness.
we're moving on. LGBTQ plus hater Ken Harrison. He went on Steve Bannon's podcast this week to call all Christian men in America to unite. Guess against who? The chairman of the Promise Keepers, you've heard of this hate group, has rented out the Dallas Cowboys Stadium in July to preach hate once again. Saved by the Bell, headline number 4. Anti-LGBTQ evangelical group's leader is planning to rally thousands of men at NFL Stadium against, you guessed it, us.
Send gay boys in there undercover and have them open their grinder.
Right.
You'll see a bunch of stuff
4
popping
feet away.
up. 2 feet away.
Leave me in the stall.
Meet me in the
Like,
bathroom.
It is a
True.
closeted
Outta
gay
here.
man's dream.
Yeah.
No, but listen, I grew up in Baptist Christian home, and there's nothing that like really scares me more than ever is just all of these evangelical groups that are percolating to the surface, and they were empowered during Trump, and so there's just this whole it's a mess we're walking into. And as much as I love the Lord, I cannot stand these evangelical Christians who are taking love and turning it into hate. The scripture of Jesus is not about hate.
Right.
It's about love. And how you can weaponize religion is a real problem. And we've seen it in the Middle East, which we haven't been able to step out of that war for all these years. So what is it that we're trying to create here in our country?
Yeah, interesting. And by the way, sometimes I'm accused of being Pollyannish on topics. Every major religion in America, every major religious organization in America supports, in majority, the Equality Act. And guess who also? Evangelicals. 58% of all evangelicals in America say LGBTQ rights and the Equality Act are A-OK.
You just
a reminder.
Ding the bell, but I wanted to say something. We have to remember, and I'm sorry to extend this, but we have to remember that this is all planned. This is an agenda that's focused on hate. And what happens is, like, this guy's going to go into a stadium and convince all these other fools that this is reality, and they follow along. So it would be great to be able to open the eyes of these people that are going to the stadium and say, you know what? This is all planned. It's for you to react and for you to hate people that you shouldn't be hating.
Selling a lie like that kind of reminds me of somebody saying that they won the 2020 election. It sounds very similar to me. All right, let's move on. Crazy like a fox.
Huh.
And of course, I mean the news. If you can't beat a Biden and a Harris, distract. Saved by the Bell, headline number 5. Fox News has aired 126 segments on trans student athletes, more in the last 3 months than all of 2 years before that. But they could only find 9 trans athletes competing in girls' sports ever nationwide. What do y'all think?
It's more of the same, what we were just talking about. It's about trying to fulfill this ridiculous agenda, creating problems that don't really exist, and convincing the fools that will listen and act on this that we have a problem.
I will admit not to watching our former President Trump speak very often, but what I did grasp and bear was that he repeated a lot of things. I'm going to keep telling you, I'm going to keep telling you, I'm great, I'm awesome, I'm doing the best for you, I'm doing the best for you.
George Orwellian, 1984.
Yes, 1984.
And I think that's what's happening. The Fox News keeps telling the same damn story and expecting people to believe it.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny to me? In '94, I graduated high school, and they allowed, my high school was the first high school in our state to allow females, cisgendered women, to allow men's football. So why is nobody caring about trans male athletes doing these sports? Only the trans women. Interesting.
All right. I'm sorry. I sound like
Sorry.
I just want to remind you, the American Medical Association came out last week and said the issues of these state bans are completely wrong. The science on health and medicine is completely sound, and it has no effect, and these legislators should not be doing it. And all of the doctors in America, that's what they say. Get out of this business.
Facts are facts.
Facts are science is science, exactly. All right. Well, it's time to celebrate a normalcy in a year of loss. So, Saved by the Bell, headline number 6. Several states, including New York and Florida, are lifting COVID restrictions. Is it too early?
I know, right? It's like, oh, like you're on the fence,
That
right?
silence,
It's like,
by the
oh.
way, was deafening.
No, it was gasp. It was gagging
that was
because
real.
it's like,
I'm
is it too
vaccinated.
soon? So
That was
everybody,
real.
I kind of,
I gotta go get my
am glad.
Right.
I do think it might be too soon, but maybe not in Florida. I think Florida's really big on vaccinating, but if you go to maybe Tennessee or Arkansas, I bet there's not that many vaccinated people there.
But we've been the state that has been open throughout this whole crap, through this whole pandemic. We've been the state that everybody has flocked to and been without masks on South Beach having, a ball. So, I mean...
But you know what? Hey, listen, let's call a spade, guys. Okay, we're here in Florida. The whole entire damn state is outdoors. Everything we do is outdoors. And we learned early on in COVID that this virus probably wouldn't survive outdoors. And so this is what it is. There was a lot of paranoia around going outdoors with masks on. But come on, that's what it is. So we have the environment in which we're living in on our side. So we get to experiment a little deeper with this virus. But maybe not other states, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So two sides of the coin is what I hear y'all say. All right, let's move on. Can you rewrite history in schools? What if you could prevent teaching the Stonewall movement? How about no mention of the Supreme Court decision on gay marriage? Is that even possible in terms of understanding our history? Well, in Saved by the Bell headline number 7, a state's been able to do it. Tennessee will excuse students from lessons with LGBTQ plus content. Parents say we get 30 days notice and we take our kids out of those lessons about anything that has to do with gender identity or orientation. What do y'all think?
When I was in school and I took history, right? Well, first of all, let me just explain that I have a crazy Puerto Rican aunt, right? That is all into the history and all this kind of stuff. So as a kid, she always told me, Christopher Columbus, mierda. They raped people, they kidnapped people. He's no one that we should be celebrating, right? So when I went to school and said, I don't want to learn about Christopher Columbus, they were like, all right, Faye, big fat F. And it was not F for Faye, it was F for F. So I couldn't say that I didn't want to learn this history or didn't want to learn that history. And now this comes up like you're just able to just say, no, I don't want to learn that. It's history. It's part of history.
Yeah, you're erasing history.
Exactly.
It's called erasure. That's so again, this is also part of this conservative agenda that we've been talking about pretty much all night. To me, it's especially insulting because I feel like if it's history, if it was reality, if it was part of the fabric of what makes this nation, it should be taught, right? We want our children, we want the next generation to be as informed, as smart as possible.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
Absolutely, and what this is doing is just creating like a generation of kids that have no idea what actually happened, right? It's so sad.
What led up to you being able to be who you are right now.
Exactly.
We watched this Tennessee's only the first state to do it. We have to watch this closely. However, we've seen this one time before in the last century, and it began in 1936, and it was called Hitler and Fascism.
Yes.
That's how it
Fascism,
began.
absolutely.
Finally tonight, we are the LGBTQ community. So that's our Saved by the Bell and our headlines for this week. Very fascinating conversation. So now, because we're the LGBTQ community, come on, let's have some sex and relationships.
Yes.
Let's play another game, our game that we call and explores what would you do, why would you do it, and most importantly of all, who would you do it with? So we're going to have 3 different interesting people tonight, and our game is Shag, Marry, Chop. And our theme is, of course, because we're getting ready to celebrate Mexico's Cinco de Mayo, is these hot Mexican celebrities. And our choices are... Now, gosh, I'm going to butcher these Spanish names.
I'll help you.
We'll help you.
I'll help you.
Yeah, please help. All right. Actually, y'all do it. You give us our choices.
All right, so our first choice is Diego Bonita, all right? And he's gorgeous. And then we have Salma Hayek. I believe that she's from Spain, right?
No, she's Mexican.
She's Mexican?
Yep.
Okay, A. Lupita, and I can't read the last
Nyong'o.
Nyong'o.
She has a Mexican mom.
Lupita
Yes.
Nyong'o. She's gorgeous.
Yes.
Right.
From
They're all gorgeous.
They're all gorgeous.
And Diego Boneta can sing. He's a former Broadway guy. He did the film about The Rock. What was that play, that show about rock?
Yeah.
Rock of Ages.
Rock of
He
Ages.
played in the film Rock
Oh
of
my
Ages,
God, I
right.
love
He's fantastic.
All right. Well, this is going to be a good one because we got girls and boys.
I love it.
To choose. So this is who we are going to play with tonight. And so Shag, Marry, Chop. Faye, let's start with you.
That's so tough, guys. I have to tell you, it's very tough because across the board, these Mexicans are making me go,
You want
woohoo!
me- you want me
Cinco
to-
de Mayo tequila!
You want me to pick them for you? Because I already know what you're going to do.
Hold on. Al, you know what I'm going to pick.
I know what you're going to pick.
What am I going to pick, Al? What am I going to
You-
pick? Who am I going to shag?
You are going to shag Selma Hayek.
Okay, probably got that one.
And then you're going to marry Lupita. And then you're going to chop Diego.
Yes, because he's a guy and he's got a penis, so of course I'm going to chop him.
I'm
Not
sorry.
chop his penis, just chop.
Now, can we rerun 25 seconds ago? And thank you for playing
Thank you
Shag
for
Marry
playing. All
Chop.
right, you're up.
Al, do Josie now.
All right, Steph Josie. Who are you going to shag?
You're not gonna do it for her?
Well, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shag Lupita because her and I, we would go out and hang out on the city streets. Now,
Yeah, that's some kind of code that we, it's a lesbian code. But I know there's code going on there.
and then we would be friends for a long time. You know what I mean? It was just
Oh, you'd make her a lesbian.
like
Lesbian, yes.
Lupita, you and I.
All right. And who would you marry?
I would marry Salma Hayek
Yeah.
because that woman is just fire.
She is
And
I agree.
I want that
Girl.
every morning,
I
every
know.
afternoon.
Yeah.
I want to be like, oh, I'm hungry right now. You know, I don't
And
care.
Chef Josie's not talking about food.
right. And wow, Diego goes down in flames
Fish.
another time.
Sorry, I bet he's cute. I have some really
He's
great
gorgeous. He is.
friends
All right,
who I can
I'm
set him up
pretty
with.
sure now, Josie, that we're going to change the odds here. Tony
have a feeling.
Lima, who are you shagging?
Well, I'm feeling especially bisexual tonight. I'll tell you. I think I'm gonna shag Selma Hayek. She is fire. She's hot. I admire her incredibly. I love how she speaks. I love her accent.
Her accent is
I just think she's phenomenal. I
Are
love
girls anything that you're really, really interested in? I know we're playing a game right now.
I don't mind girls
You're
at
such a
all.
liar.
Actually, I've had my share of bisexual threesomes
Well,
in
you're
my youth.
Cuban after all.
Yes, and we all right. Thank you. Al understands.
Yes, I do. Okay.
The diaspora in our
Okay,
face.
exactly. And who
so
are you marrying?
I would say.
Like I don't know.
Well, hold on. Let me get there. So Lupita's awesome. I am a huge fan of Lupita Nyong'o. When I found out that she was Latina,
Wait.
I was like, what? She's
Wait,
amazing.
here we go. But
No. But I'm gonna have to stop her. I'm gonna have to
and but-
let me finish. This is why you can't be friends with people that you're on TV with. Right? Thank you, Misty.
Because they know.
who are you marrying, sir?
I have to marry Diego Boneta.
Oh,
because-
really?
Listen,
Shocked.
Diego
And
Boneta
we all gasped.
is that, I know, you were waiting with bated breath. He is like that boy next door, sweet guy, has a beautiful voice. He played Luis Miguel in the Luis Miguel miniseries and did an amazing job. I actually don't think he's Mexican, by the way. He's Argentinian. But there we go. We'll fact check later. But I just
Today is Cinco de Mayo
Boneta
fabulous.
is just stunning, and I would absolutely marry him and worship him and do whatever he told me to do.
And Lupita gets the chop.
Lupita gets a chop automatically. I feel bad.
Okay, too bad. Yeah.
It's not real,
And,
Tony.
and now
have
we
feelings, I
have
do.
we have multiple genders, we have multiple races, and we turn to John Buckley.
Okay.
Come on, Bucklord.
Who are you going to shag?
I think I will go ahead and shag Diego.
Really?
Okay.
So
Hit it and quit it.
Hit it and quit it.
All right.
Wow, that's the kind of guy you are. I'm
Not
just
really,
a little bit more disappointed.
Shall
in
You guys
you.
seen his boyfriend?
He's married. That's why.
Not that different from
Yeah.
Diego Boneta. Not that different.
I'm partner with the bet. All right. I would definitely marry Selma Hayek. She's a very courageous, empowering. Yeah, beautiful woman. I love what she stands for, and I guess I would chop Lupita.
Yeah. And why?
Lupita.
Lupita.
Why the three?
Lupita.
Why is she the chop?
No reason specifically. It's
Oh,
just,
you
I have
wuss.
to make a choice.
It's
Yeah,
just
Just
like,
say it.
okay, all right.
She's not hot. I'm going to
Okay.
say it. She's not hot. She's
really?
a beautiful woman. She's an
Oh.
elegant woman. She's a fashion plate, and she always looks amazing. But I don't see her as like
You're making me want to pick her now.
really sexy. I don't see her like a sex pot like
Okay.
Salma
Okay.
and Diego.
All right.
I think she's
All right,
I'm gonna
and
show you some
Misty.
photos.
Oh yeah, I want to see.
I'm. Wait, I want to see him too. Misty, who are you shagging?
I'm going to Shag Salma Hayek.
Yes.
Watch. Okay, yes, you can. So back when I've always known I was a girl inside, always. And before I come to terms with realizing what those thoughts and feelings meant, I would fall in love with women, not realizing that I was really in love with wanting to be them more than I wanted to be with them.
Yeah.
Like the idea of sex grossed me out, but I was obsessed. What was that vampire movie when she had the snake and then the blood or the wine went down her toe?
Yes.
I watched that like 37 million times on repeat. But I wanted to emulate her and be her more than I wanted to be with her. So I'm definitely getting my lesbian experience check mark with Salma Hayek.
Mary.
And I'm going to marry the boy for obvious reasons.
Diego.
I mean,
Yeah.
Lupita, no shade.
Oh, there's definitely shade. in
No,
Shag
you
Marriage.
got by default. I mean, Salma Hayek. The second I saw her, I'm like,
All
there's
right,
a
so
girl.
it's forced shade. You know, all right, so that's what everybody was doing. Shag, Marry, Chop, happy Cinco de Gallo. Day. Gallo for everybody. You know, I just want to point out something really quick, just interesting to me. You said in one sentence, as matter of factly as possible, I always knew I was a girl. For many, many gay men, that statement, as simple as you said, is impossible for me to understand, because I can't imagine what it would be like to go, I'm completely something different gender-wise. You say it so matter-of-factly.
But it's true.
I can't help but just draw attention to the fact that that's one of the areas that the G and the L need in the LGBTQ
And the B
community
and the
B
yeah.
to understand the trans community. Because you said something that is just, wow, it just bowls me over.
Yeah, to now imagine everyone in the world and your parents and your relatives and your church and your school telling you wear boy clothes. You're a boy.
Yeah, it's almost torture.
Don't play sports.
It
whatever.
really, it's almost torture. All right, well, that's our game, Shag, Marry, Chop. Before we end the show tonight, we introduce you to our sponsor, Jet's Pizza.
Yum.
If you're coming to South Florida, you have to try the pizza of choice for the LGBTQ community. Faye is showing it.
Lick it.
Our Carol Merrill.
Lick it good.
Right. Wait, y'all are just, Jets is loving this moment that y'all are making their pizza.
Because we're drunk and
horny.
horny.
Drunk and horny. All right, well, we're getting ready to enjoy it here. And God, I wonder if it's going to lead to other things that we were talking about.
My lesbian experience was with Psy Hammock only.
Okay, got it.
But if there's a pizza between us.
Pizza makes it happen. All right. Well, that's it, America. Another week with you on the world's first and most popular LGBTQ talk show in the world. Before we sign off, let's hear from our host for one final good night. And we'll begin with you, FayWhat.
FayWhat. So make sure you go on my YouTube channel, FayWhat on YouTube, and like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Catch me on Monday and Wednesdays with my favorite white person, white privilege right here, Mr. Al Ferguson, when we host Queer News Tonight. Also, it's happening out next Wednesday. We will be here at 9 p.m. And it's incredible to be around this table with just empowering, inspirational people that represent our community in such ways that whenever I'm having a bad day, I can go to anybody at this table and they will remind me what our role and our job is in the LGBTQ community. So I'll take this moment to say thank you to all of you for representing and being who you are.
Very sweet. And our favorite chef, Josie.
Hey, well, you know, like my friend FayWhat, I have to do some plugs here, okay? Don't forget to come and check out Lady Snack Daddy LSD on Mondays and Sunday nights. Sundays at Cubs for the girl party, and Mondays at Hunters for karaoke. But then you can always catch me in the kitchen over at Bubbles and Pearls, or walking around kissing babies. And then you catch me here on Wednesday night sitting with my friends having deep conversations about what's important about our community. So, you know, keep tuning in, and while you're at it, be kind to those who are unkind to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice message. And good night from Tony Lima.
Tonight's been so incredibly inspirational sitting here with all these people. I am so excited, blown away. So excited also for Happening Out Television Network and the merger with WeMag and Hotspots. Yay! You can catch me here every Tuesday night on Queer News Tonight with Al and our guests. I wanted to say also, like Ariana Center, we're doing amazing work here in South Florida. If you're trans, if you're an ally, if you can help with support, let us know. Watch us on Translation in just a few weeks. We're getting to the point where we are filming our pilot, and we're very excited about this new groundbreaking show. And remember to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing you could be doing right now.
Yeah,
See you soon.
absolutely. And a good night from John Buckley.
Well, thank you again for having me, for popping my cherry and allowing me to be on this.
Oh, I enjoyed it too, by the way.
I did too.
I hope to join you guys again soon, but you can also catch me as well co-hosting or co-anchoring on Q News. And then, most importantly, please follow and get involved with the Unity Coalition. You can follow us on Facebook or IG, and follow Kiowa at Kiowa Unity.
Yeah, and John, I just have to mention to you, just as a reminder, that when you're a first-timer and having your cherry popped, when you say, oh, I can't wait to do it again soon, that's high praise. Thank you very much. And, and good night from Misty Eyez.
Yes, good night, everyone. And my little two-bit sentence is live in the present. Do not take advantage of the current situations. When we're at dinner with our loved ones and our friends and we're all on our phones, we're not living in the present. Live in the present. You will not realize how many valuable moments like that you will cherish later when you didn't even realize that that silly moment mattered so much.
Yeah, very nice message. We're very excited at It's Happening Out and the Happening Out television network and this new merger partnership. Hotspots is going to improve. WeMeg is going to improve. Queer News Tonight is going to improve. It's Happening Out is going to be improved because we provide collective creative spirit with each other. And you're going to see it in so many ways. We can't wait to see Pride roll down Wilton Drive again after what we have been through. Saturday, June 19th. Wait till you see what's getting ready to happen. It's going to be so exciting. So we ask you, is what you watched tonight important to you for our community? You sat right here at the LGBTQ kitchen table right along with us. There's no scripting in this conversation. You heard exactly what their thoughts were live. Remember, we do the same thing for you because if it's important to you, we're here next Wednesday at 9 o'clock and it is a live, unedited experience of talking about what our community is all about. So remember, if it's important to you, it's happening out. Good night, America.